has taken over. Let's go. It's Ferrall. Coast to coast. Steaks, chicks, stacks. You and I are going to make a lot of money. It's Ferrall, coast to coast.
It's Ferrall on the bench, coast to coast in the biggest way possible, hanging out the bad seed, the broken day, the bad apple with a bad attitude, along with the tutty master, the tater king, Carver High this afternoon. Mafia running it with Luke. I am your father. The rundown on a thirsty Thursday, C2C on the grid. A double shot with Morency from Vancouver this very hour. Then in the final hour, the 5 Eastern hour, Adam Hill from the Las Vegas Review-Journal. We got a lot to talk to him about. I mean, across the board. And then at the bottom of the hour, that hour, in the final hour, Adam Kaplan, our NFL insider, with a double shot. And the second shot being Bust a Cap in Yo Ass, plus Adam's 3 favorite plays. I kind of like Bust a Cap in Yo Ass better than his 3 favorite plays, just to be honest. All right, Carver High. Last night, the Mets blew a 3-1 lead and lost that game 5-3. Mitchell with a big 2-run shot in the 8th. Chirino, his second homer of the game. That made it 3-all. Mitchell's 5-3. That was all she wrote. Brewers force a deciding game, win or go home tonight in Milwaukee. And then the Padres, all those 2-out hits, it was unbelievable. Machado and Merrill, the triple to clean the bags, and they go up 5-1 and win 5-4 over the Braves. Although Musgrove's elbow is a concern, he may be done. They haven't said anything yet, but he had elbow problems all season. He had elbow problems last night. And once again, Max Fried Chicken, I told you, he had it all going for 2 innings, and then he got hurt. And so, again, I said that he's just not the same pitcher he was. He's got filthy stuff, but it's always something. Like, he left the game last night. He got hit with a line drive, whatever, and then he was never the same. And so he left that game, and I think that was the end of him.
I think it was the end of him as well, as he'll be off to free agency, too. We'll see if he gets some big money from whether it's the Braves or somebody else. Off he goes for that. Yes, Padres win. Some big 2-out hits. How about Higashioka with 2 homers in 2 nights
Getting higgy
for
with
San Diego? Getting higgy with it. The home run Stroka getting involved. So nice job by the Padres, who will now play the Dodgers in the NLDS, and we know how much those two like each other from the past, Scotty. So we saw the Padres knock them out
By the way,
2 years ago. Yes.
Yeah, the young gun went to the game last night. He was sitting in right field. He went to the game at Petco. He had some ice cream. They all got stoned. Are we on the air? We are?
Yes.
All right. So, yeah, they went to the game last night to watch the Friar Faithful clinch, and now they take on the dreaded Dodgers Saturday night at the Ravine. I am so interested in that series. It's not even funny. All of them I like. At the end of the day, I hope it's the Mets and Phillies. But I'm interested in the Yankees and Royals, and I'm really deeply interested in the Padres and Dodgers, Mike.
Yes, it's going to be. We already have a couple of fun series lined up, and the last one, like you said, will be determined tonight in Milwaukee. The only series that needed the third game, that is the Mets and the Brewers. It will be Jose Quintana and Tobias Myers tonight. We'll give you all of the numbers later. Look, I know there was some people saying he should have brought Diaz in the 8th last night. It is what it is, Scotty. The Brewers gave a little punch back. The Mets have fought back all year long. We needed one of these series to go 3, right? We couldn't have no games today. We had to get one do or die, and now we're going to get it tonight. I still think the Mets are going to find a way tonight in Milwaukee to get themselves to Philadelphia on Saturday afternoon. They're going to find a way.
You know, the question is, can Myers do what he's been doing? Over the last 3 months, his ERA's been about 2.4. He's been great for the Brewers. And then at the same time, he's a rookie. And you're putting a rookie out on the bump in a win-or-go-home playoff game, a do-or-die game. Will he cable in his trousers? We saw that kid, Job, go out there for the Tigers and melt down, yesterday. They won the game, but not because of him. He didn't do anything. So my question is, will Myers wilt under the pressure in Milwaukee of a game of this magnitude, or will he be as dominant as he's been for the last 3 months? He literally was the Brewers' best pitcher for the last 3 months, and Quintana's got playoff experience, and he's got playoff starts, and he's certainly more, veteran ready to go, I think. But to me, it's not really about him. Frankly, I think it's about that lineup. I think that will the Mets hit this kid because they've hit everyone else? And, they were up, 1-0. They were up 3-1. And then they went silent. But this is not a team that really has trouble scoring runs. They hit home runs. They score runs. They hit the ball well. They get the bat on the ball. So to me, this is about how will the Mets hit tonight, not really how will Quintana pitch, although obviously it's important how he pitches. He can't go out there and get lit up. He's got to be tough. And I didn't think Manaea was bad last night. I thought he had decent stuff. Yeah.
I actually think the thing that did the Mets in, Scotty, and I know they gave up the homers late, was they had a lot of opportunities to add on, and they didn't. They had runners on base throughout the night, and they just couldn't get that big hit that they have been getting to bring in a few more and extend that lead out to 4-1, 5-1. That's what I thought really hurt them last night in that game. And listen, there's a lot of spotlight tonight on Alonso. He hasn't homered since I think it's September the 16th was the last time Alonso hit a home run. He hasn't had an extra base hit since that homer on the 16th. Could be his last game as a Met if they don't win tonight. I think you see a little extra. He fell out of the box in that first at bat last night that maybe he would have beat that out at first. So little pressure on Pete tonight, I think, too, Scotty, to try to do something for the Mets in Milwaukee in a big Game 3. So we'll talk all about that, and I'll give you the odds for the AL series, which will start on Saturday. I said it to you yesterday. I'll say it to you again now. I think the Yankees could lose to any of those teams, but I also think organizationally wise, to not make the World Series with the Astros and the Orioles out of your way now, and just those 3 AL Central teams, I think a lot of pressure on Boone to get back to the Fall Classic here. He's got to get the Yankees to the World Series with just Cleveland, Detroit, and Kansas City in his way.
Without a doubt. There's really nothing else to say. Without a doubt.
There really isn't. There is not. Week 5 NFL starts tonight. Tampa and Atlanta. Pain day, baby. Let's go. For a week number 5, Falcons. Short favorite, 2.5. Seems like everybody's betting the Bucs. I'll give you all of those numbers later on as well. Little Baker Mayfield and Kirk Cousins for you on Thursday Night Football.
Well, listen, I got to be honest with you. I think Baker Mayfield has found the perfect home. I think he's really good at what he does. I think he's turned into a hell of a pro quarterback. Journeyman a little bit, moved around, finally landed in Tampa, and he has got it down with Evans and Godwin. I mean, he's got it down to a science. And they got everything. They got tight ends. They got it all. This team's good, man. They're 3-1. They had one burp where they didn't look good a couple weeks ago. Fair enough. It happens. This is the NFL. So let's see if he can do it tonight at the Benz on the road against Cousins. I haven't been impressed with Atlanta, to be honest with you. Like I said, the kid that kicked the 58-yarder coup, if he doesn't kick that, they lose to the Saints. I mean, that was an unbelievable blast at the end of that game. So I haven't been blown away at all with all their London and Pitts and Bijan and all the rest. I hear about how great they are. They're not that good. Let's see if Tampa can go in there and beat them tonight.
right here with you on Pro Football Today on SportsGrid. Odds in motion, trying to see what lines have moved throughout the week.
Never felt more comfortable in this set than I do for this year. I am ready. I'm just getting angry. The hot takes are going to be here all long, people. What in the world is going on in Miami, Dom?
It's not particularly anything to shy away from just because many people are on top of it.
Hot take, hot take.
I think this line is asking you once again to take New Orleans.
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
Simply put, the only way to bet this is over/under win total. I love Tyronn Lue. I think he's one of the 5 best coaches in the league. But my dear friend George Sorless told us to me a long time ago, you can't win if you don't got the talent. Unfortunately, I don't think the Clippers have the talent to match up.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid. The Bostonian versus the book.
Would it make you feel better as a bettor or as a sports fan if they said after the game we were trying to cover the spread?
Oh, God. To say it out loud? Oh, my God, no.
So what,
no to say it out loud? Oh, my God. You can't say that out loud. No, you can't even. You can't do that.
Okay, so what is the big deal either way?
Oh, play the game the right way.
The Bostonian versus the book.
Sunday Night Football, not really much of a matchup here. And the Bills looked so good up until this point. And, to me, it's probably like a one-off for them.
The basic thing you have to do against the Ravens, force them to pass and try to use their weapons downfield, get them behind. Because if you can do that, then it takes Derrick Henry a little bit out of the game. But if you get them with momentum coming out of the gate, getting a long touchdown run in the first play.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
Catch Sports Rage weeknights at 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific, along all of our outlets, TV stations, streaming networks, radio stations, satellite radio, Sirius XM Channel 159. But more importantly, you can catch Gabe Morency on Coast to Coast every day with a double shot from Vancouver. So far be it from me to start with hockey, even though you and I love hockey, Carver High loves hockey, Mafia loves hockey. I'm not sure anyone else does. Fair enough. But I'll say this, you're telling me that you're rambling about Quebec. I loved when the Nordiques were in the league. I have a Stasny jersey. I thought it was a great place. I've been there. It's cool. I think it's a great city, and it's badass, but the league screws everything up. I thought they screwed that up nice and juicy, losing Quebec. And then for years we've heard that they want a team back, but the Kings are playing a couple of games there. And then what? Tomorrow, when we're on the air here on Coast to Coast, there's going to be a Devils game going on in Prague.
Yeah, regular season game at that. So an alert, a warning for everybody. Everybody betting Buffalo Sabre point totals, Buffalo Sabre futures, New Jersey Devil futures. Obviously, there'll still be lines up through the year, but their regular season starts very similar to like what baseball does. It's a little bit confusing for people because there's preseason games going on tomorrow, but there's a regular season game tomorrow. They're opening up overseas in Europe with the Buffalo Sabres and the New Jersey Devils are playing 2 games in the Czech Republic in Prague, beautiful city, very, very passionate hockey country as well with a great history, obviously. So we're starting with some regular season hockey tomorrow, Scott. We're off and running. It's a great time of the year, isn't it, man? We have the Dodgers and the Friars playing this weekend. You got the baseball, the Yankees, Royals. You got baseball playoffs, divisional series. College football's getting real. They're dropping the puck in the NHL. It's awesome stuff. But, with the Oakland Athletics moving, there's been a lot of sentimentality about that. And it opened up old wounds about the Montreal Expos, Scott, leaving Montreal. And now, the Quebec Nordiques, you and I talked about it. They want to put a team back in Atlanta for the 3rd time.
No way.
Like really? Now Houston, the owner of the Rockets, Fertitta. He's, I'm bringing NHL to Houston. Okay, fine. I'm not opposed to it. But how about Quebec City? Like literally. How about like one of the, the birthplaces of hockey here where it's a hockey mad place? I get it. There's a lot of negatives about Quebec City from the PA's perspective. The taxes are high. It's hardcore French. Like Montreal is bilingual. Like Montreal's a French city. People speak English in Montreal. Quebec City, they don't. Like point blank, they don't. It's the capital city of Quebec. Right. But it's also a beautiful freaking city, Scott. It's like going to a medieval European town.
Who cares if they speak French?
And it's hockey, exactly. 22% of the players are French, right, in the league. So they're like, well, players, it's isolated, which it is from a travel perspective, but how isolated is it? Like, really? We're going to Utah now, guys. So, like, all these excuses that they build up. But the gist of it here, and I don't like this, it's their bias. So Las Vegas paid $500 million to get into the league. Seattle paid $500 million to get into the league. They want to charge Quebec City $1 billion. And they say, well, Vegas and Seattle were new markets and risks. This is an ATM machine for you guys. You know you're going to sell out every game and make money. So if you know and you're telling them this, why aren't we all just accelerating this to get them in the league? If you know, oh, yeah, by the way, you guys are going to sell. And Quebec is a unique market, guys. They have like a very big media. Like they support their own. Like it's pretty crazy, Scott. Like nobody would think, oh, Quebec City radio. Like right now, the FM Shock Jock in Quebec City, Scott's got like 800,000 listeners, bro. You know what I mean? It's like the French hockey shows there. There's like 2 million people watching the freaking post-game show after the game because they're banging the desk. They're all yelling. Everybody sucks. They take it to a new next level in Quebec. Dude, they need the Nordiques back in the league. Fine. You want to bring
what's wrong with that?
Atlanta, all this stuff. Just freaking do it. Just get it over with and do it.
Yeah, listen, I am all for that. I have said over and over repeatedly that Atlanta already swung and missed twice. They went broke in 10 years, and all they want to do is move it out to the rich white people suburbs. That's their idea. That's a pathetic idea. Houston has about as much. Listen, hockey in Houston. Are you kidding me? What is next? Honestly, can we just stop with Houston for a second? They have enough. Quebec is a hockey, like just an absolutely perfect place for the NHL. It always was. Being French has nothing to do with it. They're passionate. They're crazy. They're rabid. They're packed, the games, their shows, their market, their TV, their radio, everything about it.
Well, that's the thing. And unique. Scott.
And it's a sexy city. It's a lover's city. It's like Paris.
Oh, no. Players' families would love it. The wives would love it. Their girlfriends would love going there. But, and as you remember the days, it's not like the Nordiques were struggling people. All right? They weren't. They came into the league. It was freaking rabid. The Montreal Canadiens and the Quebec Nordiques, one of the best rivalries ever. Like, seriously, bro. Like, they used to have massive, like, just intense brawls, and it was, like, so heated between the two cities. Like, next-level rivalry stuff that you don't see anymore in the league. And they had a smaller arena, just point blank. They had a smaller arena, and there's one thing about Quebec, the province of Quebec, they don't do the public funding for arenas. Like they told the Expos, you want to build a stadium? Go ahead. We'll help you out with the land. We're not giving you money for a stadium. They don't do that there, right? The Montreal Canadiens built their own arena. Like, you know what I mean? They don't do that there. So the owner, Marcel Aubut of the Quebec Nordiques, just basically said, all right, fine. And he sold the team to Denver. So it wasn't like, oh, they were struggling. They weren't struggling.
So
they sold out every damn game.
What's the arena now?
Dude, now it's a beautiful state-of-the-art arena. That's the whole point. Where Patrick Waugh, his team, the Quebec Remparts play. They get 15,000 people a game. The LA Kings are playing the Boston Bruins there tonight. The Kings are the designated home team because the Kings have a big history of playing in Quebec. Their farm team used to be in Quebec. So, a little preseason pick tonight, Scott. Let's take the LA Kings in Quebec City.
I've been to Quebec. I loved it. I think it's a really cool spot. Great place. Unique spot, for sure.
right here with you on Pro Football Today on SportsGrid. Odds in motion, trying to see what lines have moved throughout the week.
Never felt more comfortable in this set than I do for this year. I'm ready. I'm just getting angry. The hot takes are going to be here all morning, people. What in the world is going on in Miami, Dom?
It's not particularly anything to shy away from just because many people are on top of it.
Hot take, hot take.
I think this line is asking you once again to take New Orleans.
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
Simply put, the only way to bet this is over under win total. I love Tyronn Lue. I think he's one of the 5 best coaches in the league. But my dear friend George Sorless told us to me a long time ago, you can't win if you don't got the talent. Unfortunately, I don't think the Clippers have the talent to match up.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid. The Bostonian versus the Book.
Would it make you feel better as a bettor or as a sports fan if they said after the game we were trying to cover the spread?
Oh, God. To say it out loud? Oh, my God, no.
So what,
no. To say it out loud? Oh, my God. You can't say that out loud. No, you can't do that.
Okay, so what is the big deal either way?
Oh, play the game the right way.
The Bostonian versus the Book.
Sunday Night Football, not really much of a matchup here. And the Bills looked so good up until this point. And, to me, it's probably like a one-off for them.
The basic thing you have to do against the Ravens, force them to pass and try to use their weapons downfield, get them behind. Because if you can do that, then it takes Derrick Henry a little bit out of the game. But if you get them with momentum coming out of the gate, getting a long touchdown run on the first play.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
Get on the SportsGrid Live on X, and you can watch right there. It's just the simplest thing ever. Any idiot can figure it out, including me. Morency, I have to ask you, before you give me your Thursday, NFL, those 2 crappy college games tonight, I want to ask you, I mean, those games suck. Sam Houston and UTEP and Texas State.
Texas State.
And who are they? Texas State's playing some
Troy.
Oh,
it's
Troy.
easy to get
What could be
confused.
worse?
Troy. Yeah.
So those games are just awful. I'd rather have a fat girlfriend. So here's the deal. The Dodgers and Padres makes me horny. I literally want to call off. Like I got vacation days.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I need days off. I'm going to LA. I got to fly to Lipstick City to see Dodgers and the Friar Faithful. I'd rather watch it at Petco, to be honest with you. I've been to Chavez Ravine a million times. I have more fun at Petco. I get stoned. Are we on the air? And then I eat ice cream there, the best ice cream in baseball at Petco. Soft serve, the cups of the Padre Cup hats, and you just sit the sprinkles. I eat 11 is the record. As you know, I set the record there, 11 cups. I smoked a lot before the game. So are we on? We are.
I think I set the record, Scott. You set the record at Petco. I think I set the record for drinking Dodger Ritas at Dodger Stadium. They have
Dodger dogs and Dodger Ritas.
Dodger Ritas, man. It's like you get the premium Dodger Rita. It's one of those Vegas styles, like a big baseball bat, big plastic baseball bat.
Right.
And it's like this blue sort of special liquid, It's like the magic Dodger potion drink. So give me 2 Dodgeritas. You walk out with 2 like baseball bats. Chug, chug, chug. And the best thing is,
I want to go to that.
Oh, me too, Scott. Trust me. I've looked at the plane ride. We're on Sunday night. I wish we had a private jet. It'd make our lives a little easier, right? So trust me. I was ready to go to the Michigan game on Saturday night against Washington. I'm like, oh my God, the Dodgers are playing San Diego at the same time. And remember, I felt the same way, Scott, the last time when the Dodgers played the Giants in the playoffs a couple of years ago. That's what I really did. I was like, I don't care what's going on. I'm getting on a plane. I'm going to the game.
That's even better. They hate each other.
Oh, it was the first time they played in the playoffs since like ever. It was ever type deal, right? So it's like, I got to be there. And I was. They lost 1-0, of course, when I was there. And the win game was a crazy night. But yeah, man, It's very rare, Scott, that people are as excited about a divisional series as this one. And not just on the West Coast. Like, you know what I mean? The Dodgers are a super popular team, but they're almost like Duke or something. I know as a Dodger fan, a lot of people want to see them lose. So you get this national, oh my God, San Diego, but there's a lot of hype and excitement about this series. And man, I wish you and I could be sitting right there behind in home plate with Mary Hart and stuff, just drinking the Dodgeritas. Saturday night, Chavez Ravine, Saturday and Sunday. I thought about it. I'm thinking about it. I can get there. Getting back for the Sunday night show for me, it's like, yeah, if the plane isn't delayed, right? There's not a lot of like room for error type of deal for me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's a problem. But I want to go. Like my son went last night to the game. He said, he was texting me throughout. It was completely lit. And he was sending me clips from his seats. He was in right field. And I think they were like $140 to seat. But that place was off the hook. And in that inning, all those 2-out hits. Who do you like tonight? Tampa Bay and the Falcons at the Benz with the 2.5, Atlanta favored. And who do you like in those two crappy college football games?
I like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, guys. You know what? I think the Buccaneers team has been disrespected all year. You look at the point spreads. They're good, Scott. They're good. Last year, they nearly beat the Detroit Lions in the playoffs. Like, they're right there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, if I'm a football team, I don't want to play the Bucs in the playoffs. They're just solid. Like, people think, oh, Mike Evans and Godwin are older. They're not old.
Great.
They've just been around a while. Yeah, exactly. It's all right. Everyone, they're not that great. All right, you go stop them. Baker Mayfield's balling. They have a good defense. Yeah, they got punched in the mouth against Denver. They've won 3 of their 4 football games. What do you want from them? Right? I think this Tampa team is just more fluid on both sides of the ball. Atlanta's defense is good, guys. Right? Everyone coming into the year, Atlanta should have drafted on defense. Kirk Cousins can't get this thing going, Scott. Dude, they scored 26 points last week, guys. They didn't score an offensive touchdown. They didn't get the ball past the 20-yard line. They kicked 5 field goals. They had a pick 6 and a fumble in the end zone. I like Tampa tonight, and I like both overs in the football games tonight. Over 57 and over 50. We'll keep it simple.
In the college games.
Yes, sir. College football.
All right. There you go. By the way, Texas State's laying 2 tutties, and Sam Houston's laying 10.5 against UTEP. All right, great stuff today. I agree with you. Quebec should have the NHL before all those other hack markets, especially Atlanta. Screw Atlanta a third time. No.
Right here with you on Pro Football Today on SportsGrid. Odds in motion, trying to see what lines have moved throughout the week.
Never felt more comfortable in this set than I do for this year. Brady, I'm just getting angry. The hot takes are going to be here all season long.
What in the world is going on in Miami, Dom?
It's not particularly anything to shy away from just because many people are on top of it.
Hot take.
I think this line is asking you once again to take New Orleans.
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
Simply put, the only way to bet this is over-under win total. I love Tyronn Lue. I think he's one of the 5 best coaches in the league. But my dear friend George Sorless told us to me a long time ago, you can't win if you don't got the talent. Unfortunately, I don't think the Clippers have the talent to match up.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid. The Bostonian versus the Book.
Would it make you feel better as a bettor or as a sports fan if they said after the game we were trying to cover the spread?
Oh, God. To say it out loud? Oh, my God, no.
So what,
no to say it out loud? Oh, my God. You can't say that out loud. No, you can't do that.
Okay, so what is the big deal either way?
Oh, play the game the right way.
The Bostonian versus the Book.
Sunday Night Football, not really much of a matchup here. And the Bills looked so good up until this point. And, to me, it's probably like a one-off for them.
The basic thing you have to do against the Ravens, force them to pass and try to use their weapons downfield, get them behind. Because if you can do that, then it takes Derrick Henry a little bit out of the game. But if you get them with momentum coming out of the gate, getting a long touchdown run on the first play.
Newswire. only on SportsGrid.
All right, Carver, hi. I want to get your opinion of it really quick. Do you think, you heard us talking about it, $1 billion they want for Quebec to get into the NHL, which I think is absurd. I mean, I could see $700 million. They've already charged $500 million for Vegas and Seattle. Why $1 billion? That makes no sense to me whatsoever. That's just robbery. I think that's just, it's just criminal is what it is. But I think that market should be in the NHL.
Yeah, I think it's time. I mean, if they're going to add more teams, I think that it's a discussion that needs to be had, is to get Quebec back in the mix. They've gone back to a couple of other places already. As far as the $1 billion stuff goes, I mean, that's just typical nowadays, though, with all these leagues and these owners, right? They're all pigs. So it doesn't surprise me whatsoever. The thing is that somebody's going to be willing to pay it, which is why they're able to throw a number like that out to get it. And we've been through this 1 billion times. They can't go back to Atlanta. I know that they love that place so much. I don't know what it is. They're dying to have hockey work in Atlanta. It's never going to work. Stop going to Atlanta. Stop talking about Atlanta. I'd rather see them put second teams in other cities before going back to Atlanta. So just don't even waste our time with that
Listen,
anymore.
No one wants to talk about it, but the reality is it's a hip-hop hub. It's a rap hub. It's a black city, without a doubt. The brothers don't like hockey. That's just all there is to it. And all the white people live in the sticks. All the rich white people live 45 minutes away in the sticks. They tried to move the baseball team out of the city into the sticks because they want to be around all the rich white people, and they want to move that hockey arena out to the rich white people in the sticks. I mean, honest to God, how many times do you have to fail and go broke or lose your entire fan base? Like, they had 18,000 when they got the Thrashers. By the time they left, they were drawing 6. I mean, nobody goes. No one cares. When you fail at something once, it's one thing. Twice, that's a trend. I mean, are you kidding me? They're going to put it back there again? I mean, honestly, it's just not meant for it. It isn't. Look, it never worked. It never will. Houston as well. I'm sorry. I just don't buy that market for the NHL. I really don't. And, they talk about all these other cities, Kansas City, you heard Morency say Milwaukee, Portland. Portland, please. Portland's bad enough with the NBA. The Quebec makes sense to me, and you'd get more Quebec fans loaded every game, and there'd be more Canadian teams that would matter because they want the Canadian teams to matter in the NHL. They haven't won one since '94, whatever it is.
Look, what I don't understand is that why is there such a need to already add more teams? The league is as watered down as it is already. We just went in the last 10 years to Vegas and Seattle. Where else do you need to go so desperately that you're missing hockey right now? It doesn't make any sense. And that you can overexpand and get too much. Like, the NFL is the greatest league in the country for a reason, right? I mean, they do it right. They make the most money. They have the highest ratings. They have all that. When was the last time the NFL went to a new place? They have not expanded in 30 years. Now, look, Cleveland and Houston, they got teams back. Those cities got teams back. Those are not what I would consider, I know they were new franchises, but that was them replacing teams that had left. The last time they went other places was Jacksonville and Carolina. That was the last time that they had it, and that was 30 years ago at this point.
Same thing with Baltimore.
They're the most successful league in the country. And you don't see them running with how powerful and how mighty they are and going, we need to be here. No, let's add 2 more teams here, and let's go get 2 teams here. And there's no reason for it. And hockey doesn't need to do it. Baseball hasn't even done. I mean, you don't need it.
But it's
unnecessary.
It's money. If someone's going to pay you $1 billion to it's like moving the Raiders to Las Vegas. $6 billion the guy made. If they're charging $1 billion to get into the league, that's a lot of money. I don't see how you turn that down.
I guess if that's the only way they can make money, then I guess they're going to keep doing it, and the league's just going to keep getting more watered down. If that's the only way that they can make money, is by just adding more teams. Yeah.
I think the league is, you're right, watered down's a good word for it. The reality is that, like if you really look at it, there's only a few teams that really matter. And then are there really that many people that are into it? I don't believe the regular season in the NHL that there's anything worse. I'm not sure there's anything worse in sports than their regular season. Like 82 games. Are you kidding me? I mean, I don't know one day from the next. My buddy said to me the other day at the gym, high heat, high heat. He goes, we'll go to some hockey games. I go, yeah, all right, whatever. I love high heat. I go to games with them, we get hammered. But I don't want to, I don't care. Somebody asked me, hey, do you want to buy season tickets? And we'll go on weekends. I'm like, no. I watch football on weekends.
You have 32 franchises already. You have 32 franchises. How many more do you need right now? You don't. You don't need more. It just isn't necessary.
They really don't need three teams in the area.
They were close. They were close for that a few times back in the day. There was a couple times it was close that they were almost out of here, but they ended up hanging on. That's for sure. So there you go.
What do you got for me?
Hockey does start tomorrow, which Gabe brought up to you, with the Devils and the Sabres in Prague while we're on Coast to Coast. All right, let's get started with the baseball here, and we'll pick it up with the Brewers and the Mets. Of course, they're going to play a big Game 3 tonight in Milwaukee. Last night, Mets had a lead going into the 8th inning. Chirino hit his second home run of the day. 20-year-old kid. He's been unbelievable for them. And then a single for Willie Adames. Garrett Mitchell, who comes up 6:20 WTMJ in Milwaukee.
Adames, the runner at first. The pitch. Swing and a fly ball. Right center field. It is up. It is gone. Off the top of the wall and out of here. Garrett Mitchell, a go-ahead 2-run home run in the bottom of the 8th inning.
Yeah, that made me very angry.
Yeah, not gonna lie. I originally went looking for the Brewers call because I thought we were gonna get Euchre doing it, but I guess Bob maybe wasn't feeling well. He didn't do these 2 games the last couple nights on the radio in Milwaukee. So hopefully Bob's doing all right. Maybe they can get him in there tonight for game number 3 there for that final game of the series. As far as the Mets go, we know they've had their backs against the wall a lot this year. They have responded a lot this year. Carlos Mendoza expects them to do the same thing again tonight in game number 3.
This team's ability to, you've mentioned the team's ability to counterpunch, as you guys have in the past weeks. So that gives you pretty good, and not confidence, but good feeling going into the last game.
Yeah, I mean, I think we've shown in the whole year, we've been knocked down and we have the ability to get back up. And here we are, got punched today. We'll get right back. They're a good ball club, man. They're a good team. We'll be ready to go.
Yeah, I got to tell you, I am stressing out, and it's inexplicable to me because I've hated them my whole life, but I really like this team. I just pretend that they're not the Mets. I just think they're a great baseball team. They're tough. They fight. They hit. They scrap. They hit home runs. They pitch. They close. They got a bullpen. They got a good manager. Everything about them I like, and I want them to win. I think and I mean it, I honestly believe the best series would be Mets and Phillies, not Milwaukee and the Phillies. I think the better series for baseball, for New York and Philadelphia, those 2 giant markets, no one cares about Milwaukee. So everyone who lives there, hate me all you want. No one cares about you at all, ever, about anything. Nothing. Not the Bucks, nothing. No one cares at all about one lick about that town. And I'm right.
right here with you on Pro Football Today on SportsGrid. Odds in motion, trying to see what lines have moved throughout the week.
Never felt more comfortable in this set than I do for this year. Brady, I'm just getting angry. The hot takes are going to be here all season people.
What in the world is going on in Miami, Dom?
It's not particularly anything to shy away from just because many people are on top of it.
Hot take, hot take.
I think this line is asking you once again to take New Orleans.
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
Simply put, the only way to bet this is over under win total. I love Tyronn Lue. I think he's one of the 5 best coaches in the league. But my dear friend George Sorlis told us to me a long time ago, you can't win if you don't got the talent. Unfortunately, I don't think the Clippers have the talent to match up.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid. The Bostonian versus the Book.
Would it make you feel better as a bettor or as a sports fan if they said after the game we were trying to cover the spread?
Oh, God. To say it out loud? Oh, my God, no.
So what,
no. To say it out loud? Oh, my God. You can't say that out loud. No, you can't even. You can't do that.
Okay, so what is the big deal either way?
Oh, play the game the right way.
The Bostonian versus the Book.
Sunday Night Football, not really much of a matchup here. And the Bills looked so good up until this point. And, to me, it's probably like a one-off for them.
The basic thing you have to do against the Ravens, force them to pass and try to use their weapons downfield, get them behind. Because if you can do that, then it takes Derrick Henry a little bit out of the game. But if you get them with momentum coming out of the gate, getting a long touchdown run on the first play.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
Listen, tell me I'm wrong, Carver High, that Milwaukee isn't Chicago's B. I mean, honestly, am I wrong? Now, I know you've had your fair share of wars with those people up there. What do you mean, you people? I'm telling you, New York and Philly, I mean, just even the thought of it, it stomps that village, whatever it is, that little dinky Milwaukee. I mean, no offense. Honestly, I'm not out to get these people. I don't care one way or another what you think of me. What is the appeal of that series if they win? The Brewers and Phillies. I'd rather be pregnant, honestly, than watch that.
Yeah, it doesn't.
I want to see the Mets and Phillies.
It doesn't have a lot of gas. I'm not going to lie. It doesn't have a lot of gas, Philly and the Brewers, if it got there. I think, and look, you know what they would say to us out there in Milwaukee is, well, nobody cares about, nobody wants to see the Northeast, Philly and New York.
Oh, yeah,
nobody cares. That's
they do.
That's what they would say.
Shut up.
So they would
Shut
come
up,
back to you the other way. So
you know nothing about anything. There is nothing. Nothing compares to New York. Nothing. I'm done listening to it. I've been everywhere. I've worked everywhere. Not only that, I've worked in Chicago. I've been to Milwaukee 1,000 times. It's terrible. Okay? I've been in L.A. I lived there 12 years. Okay? What market haven't I been in? Don't tell me anything about New York. It stomps your ass. I mean, on our worst day, it's not even, you can't even discuss it. You can't even discuss the two markets. That's all that matters is New York. That's it. There's no arguing it. You can sit there. Are you kidding? Can you imagine I got to listen to this? Milwaukee against New York? In anything. Literally in anything. It can't compete with this city in anything. I guess people being nice or something. Maybe they're nicer there. We're not nice. No one here is nice. Okay, maybe you're nicer. Isn't that wonderful? Congratulations. Merry Christmas.
They got brats.
Oh, I'll give them that. Listen, they got brats. They have the best bratwurst. You're right about that. And they got Bill Michaels. Brats. Now, you got Bill Michaels and you got bratwurst. I love that. And I like, the Milwaukee Bucks, I'll give you. That they got an NBA team. Fair enough. And then let's just leave it at that.
Let's leave it at that.
That's all you have.
Jose Quintana and Tobias Myers tonight. Minus 130 now for the Brew Crew, plus $110 for the Mets. 7.5 is the total. The one good thing about that Mitchell home run last night was it did get me that over 7.5. That was the only good thing that it did, was that Mitchell home run.
Listen, I want the Mets at 110, and because I just spent a half an hour bashing Milwaukee, the Brewers will win, and they'll end up playing the Phillies in the division series. But I'm betting on the Mets. I think the Mets are better than the Brewers. I don't care what the Brewers did in the Central. I think the Central Division is ass butter, okay? That division is complete ass butter. End of story, period.
Mets hitters don't have a lot of history against Myers. Very few at-bats, really, for anyone in the lineup. Adames, 5 for 14 off Quintana with a homer. Reese Hoskins, 3 for 15 with a homer off of him. William Contreras, 3 for 8 with a homer. So a couple guys have seen Quintana, of course. Obviously, he's been around forever. Mets have not had much prior experience against Tobias Myers, so we'll see how that. But this is one of those games tonight, Scotty, where anyone who gets into trouble early is going to get a quick hook. I know the Mets have Peterson available if anything's going wrong too, who was excellent for them down the stretch. So both teams are going to have some options if anybody gets out to a shaky start.
Well,
all hands on deck. Last game of the season. Don't hold anything back.
Yeah, people said that Mendoza screwed it up last night. He can't afford to have a bad night tonight with who he puts in and takes out. He's got to get that a little honed in. He's got to know when a guy's not got it and move and make the right choices and when and who. I think is it's crucial tonight. This game, they had that game last night. You're up 3-1, then it's 3-2, and then you F around and you let them back in it. In the 8th inning, they blew the game. The bullpen blew the game, and that's just all there is to it. And I didn't like his decisions. He's got to be crisper tonight in his decisions. And I don't know. Now, listen, there are guys involved in this on that bench. It's not just him swinging this big, legal mind stick of his. He's got guys with him. They should know exactly what to do. And then they got all this analytics nonsense. Listen, they got to make the right calls tonight, the right choices.
That is what they need to do, that's for sure. So we're looking forward to that tonight. That's just after 7 o'clock East. First pitch in Milwaukee. And
I think it's better than the football game. I really do.
It's a big game tonight. Can we not interview guys in the dugout in the 9th inning of the game while it's like a big crucial point of the game, like it's a 2-run game, they're in the 9th inning, the Mets are hitting? Do we need to go to the guy in the dugout, interview the guy after the game? We don't need him in the middle of the game interviewing the guy who hit the homer in the top of the 9th while we're trying to watch Iglesias bat and all these. Their broadcasts have just been awful. Thank God they're done after tonight, and it goes to, I guess, Fox and TBS this weekend for the baseball because they did an awful job. We will come back, and I'll get you through the rest of these. I'll give you a couple of flavor from the Padres' win over the Braves last night. We'll hear from Mike Schilt talking about facing the Dodgers next. I've got series odds for you. We've got the Royals beating the Orioles. They, of course, are heading to the Bronx for the Yankees on Saturday. And we'll have some A.J. Hinch talking about beating his old team and sending them home as they will now face Cleveland in the ALDS this weekend.
No one cares about that. No one cares about that. Although I like the Tigers. I love their story. I love their team. I think they're fun. But Kansas City and the Yankees renew a 70s rivalry. And not only that, George Brett was my favorite player my whole life. Growing up, I mean, this guy would flirt with 400 every year. We got guys now getting, $30 million a year to hit 210. So not only that, but I worked in Kansas City. I did like an entire summer, every Royals game. I was at every game. I did 82 games at the K. So I've been around the Royals a lot. I went to the 85 World Series against the Cardinals. Royals and Yankees, I think, is going to be delicious too.
right here with you on Pro Football Today on SportsGrid. Odds in motion, trying to see what lines have moved throughout the week.
Never felt more comfortable in this set than I do for this year. Brady, I'm just getting angry. The hot takes are going to be here all season long, people.
What in the world is going on in Miami, Dom?
It's not particularly anything to shy away from just because many people are on top of it.
Hot take, hot take.
I think this line is asking you once again to take New Orleans.
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
Simply put, the only way to bet this is over-under win total. I love Tyronn Lue. I think he's one of the 5 best coaches in the league. But my dear friend George Sorless told us to me a long time ago, you can't win if you don't got the talent. Unfortunately, I don't think the Clippers have the talent to match up.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid. The Bostonian versus the Book.
Would it make you feel better as a bettor or as a sports fan if they said after the game we were trying to cover the spread?
Oh, God. To say it out loud? Oh, my God, no.
So what,
no. To say it out loud? Oh, my God. You can't say that out loud. No, you can't even. You can't do that.
Okay, so what is the big deal either way?
Oh, play the game the right way.
The Bostonian versus the Book.
Sunday Night Football, not really much of a matchup here. And the Bills looked so good up until this point. And, to me, it's probably like a one-off for them.
The basic thing you have to do against the Ravens, force them to pass and try to use their weapons downfield, get them behind. Because if you can do that, then it takes Derrick Henry a little bit out of the game. But if you get them with momentum coming out of the gate, getting a long touchdown run of the first play.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
All right, Carver High, you shift to the Friar Faithful.
Yeah, let's get to the teams now that are already on their way to the weekend. Padres beat the Braves 5-4 last night. They win the series in 2. Of course, Braves got a run early, top of the first inning. Padres loaded the bases in the bottom of the first, Scotty, but they were not able to score any runs. Then in the bottom of the second, after a Higashioka home run, Machado came up with the bases loaded again. He struck out in the first inning. Second time with the bases loaded, he gets it done. 97-3 the Fan in San Diego.
Fried, big breath. He delivers. Machado swings, lines it into left field. That's a fair ball. Gonna bounce and roll all the way to the wall. Arise and Tatis have scored. Profar will be held. Manny into second with a 2-run double.
He's such a badass. I mean, honestly. The first time he doesn't come through and you're like, oh, man. And then he comes up again. You're like, he's not going to do that again. Boom. He smacks it to left. And then I was going crazy. I really like this team.
And then, of course, Jackson Merrill with the 2-run triple right after that, bringing in a couple more. I wasn't going to play Merrill. It was a bomb. But, until they officially put that award in Steve's hand, we can't play any Jackson Merrill highlights. I'm just kidding. Next, here's Padre manager Mike Schilt. They move on to face the hated Dodgers. Here he is talking about that.
Yeah, we're going to play our game. It's about what we do. Clearly going to be respectful. They obviously got a really nice club. We fought tooth and nail to get to the end of the season for the division. But now we're in the part of the season where winter moves on, and we wouldn't want it any other way. It's going to be a wonderful series. We're super excited about it. Can't wait. Wish we played tomorrow. But we'll be ready to show up and get after it on Saturday. It's going to be 2 wonderful venues and high-stakes baseball, and that's what we play for.
I'll give you that. High stakes. At the Ravine and at Petco, those two, honestly, 2 hours apart, it's just as good as it gets. I'll say this. I think the Padres have an itch for the Dodgers, right? But the Dodgers' true enemy has always been the San Francisco Giants. That has been their arch nemesis and their enemy in California since before Christ. That's just all there is to it. And I don't think they ever cared about the Padres, the Dodgers. And now I think the Padres, Mike, are fascinated with the Dodgers. They can't get them out of their heads. There's no one that the Dodgers, the Padres want more than the Dodgers. In 22, they beat them, and that's what they live for. I don't think the Dodgers could give a rat's ass about the Padres. It's the Giants that they hate.
It is the Giants that they hate. They'll never be able to top the Giant and the Dodger hatred. There's no question about that. But you know what? San Diego knocks them out again next week, and it can start to really change a little bit. This is for the series now. Best of 5, Game 1 in LA on Saturday night. It is minus 145 Dodgers for the series. Padres plus $120. It will be Cease and Flaherty in Game 1 on Saturday night.
I mean, what a great series, and what a great way to start it with Cease and Flaherty. I'm on the Friars to win the series. I love this team. I think they're really good. And listen, I got to be honest with you. I'll give you Flaherty, and I'll give you, I think the Dodgers pitching is an issue. I think it really is a problem. And they're starting these young kids, and then but they got the Japanese guy going. What's his name? Yamamoto. Look, I don't deny that he's good, but I am not afraid of the Dodgers pitching. It's the Dodgers lineup that I'm afraid of. It's the lineup. If you worry about their pitching, you're wasting time. They haven't been good. Their bullpen, nothing. It's the Padres that have the pitching. It's the Padres that have the hitting. They have both. And a bullpen. And defense. I mean, that is a rock star infield that they have in San Diego. I think the Padres are every bit as good. Obviously, the Dodgers bats are a concern against the Padres pitching. Will the Padres pitching get it done? That's the question. They've been really good. So let's see. I don't think Musgrove's going to be there either for any of it.
More often than not, pitching usually wins in the playoffs.
That's right.
More often than not, pitching usually wins. We shall see. Remember, though, they got Darvish to start, too. Right. I mean, they're going to have Cease. They're going to have Darvish. They're going to have King. The Padres can, they got to replace. They can throw Darvish right in there, even if Musgrove can't go. So they still got
Darvish has been a problem. He's been bad. Listen, King, Cease, and then there's no Musgrove, so that's a problem. Darvish has been a problem.
Right here with you on Pro Football Today on SportsGrid. Odds in motion, trying to see what lines have moved throughout the week.
Never felt more comfortable in the set than I do for this year. Ready. I'm just getting angry. The hot takes are going to be here all long, people.
What in the world is going on in Miami, Dom?
It's not particularly anything to shy away from just because many people are on top of it.
Hot take.
I think this line is asking you once again to take New Orleans.
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
The sharpest football contest show in the land, the Las Vegas Football Contest Show, focuses on Circus Sports Million, Circus Survivor, and the Westgate Super Contest, handicapping the games and releasing our contest picks every week of the season. With 2 former Super Contest winners, Brady Cannon and James Salinas, a former NFL player, Mike Pritchard, and over $1 million in contest prize money won combined, the Las Vegas Football Contest Show will have you prepared this season like none other.
There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.